One of my most frequently asked questions or video idea is to make a video on how to manifest and the law of attraction. Today, I'm going to teach you about some manifestation methods, the ones that have actually worked for me. I'm going to tell you guys about what I've manifested and just in general, the do's and don'ts of manifesting in itself. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I highly recommend you do, partly because I am manifesting that 1 mil. We just hit 700K. I am so grateful. Recently, I feel like on TikTok and on Instagram, it's become this trend, which is a horrible term, but it is what it is. It's become this trend to like all the super spiritual stuff and manifesting and scripting and crystals. And although it is good because honestly, it broadens people's interests and hobbies and they may find something that they really like within this, I do want to say if you are interested in any of this spirituality stuff, definitely do your research. I literally have a little document here that I actually researched, so I'm not just pulling this out of my... I know that I am 100% not a pro. There's people that study these type of spirituality things for literally years and years and years. I'm just telling you what's worked for me, and it genuinely has. If there's anything that I missed or you think that needs correcting, please comment down below. I'm so open to learning. And lastly, I know that manifesting sometimes goes against other people's religions, and it says that manifesting is not a sin if you are trying to manifest something positive, such as a new home, a relationship, or a new job. Manifesting, however, is a sin if you try to manifest something negative that will harm someone else. Now, I feel like that's a given, but to many people it might not be. So essentially, manifesting involves the law of attraction. It is a universal principle that states that you will attract into your life whatever you focus on. You truly have the power to manifest whatever you're thinking. For example, if I have a negative mindset and I think that I am the most unlucky person on the universe and that everything bad always happens to me and that I attract bad things, that will naturally happen. I will pinpoint the bad things and be like, see, another bad thing just happened. Whereas if you're always a grateful person and you think that everything is a sign from the universe and that you're so lucky and there's miracles all around you, you will constantly focus on the good things around your life.
This is so weird. Everything is so lining up right now. I'm like, what's about to happen? Like, why is everything lining up so good? So happy right now. I don't know if you can tell, but I think that all of these signs that I'm getting, at this point, the odds are just getting really weird. So I just know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. So everything is so lined up. I'm exactly where I need to be right now. I love life.
What you say and the words that come out of your mouth, they influence what happens around you. Kind of like a little butterfly effect or cause and effect. Now, manifestation is different types of methods to make these things come to fruition. It says that manifestation refers to various strategies intended to bring about a person's goal, primarily focused by focusing one's thoughts upon the desired outcome. There are so many methods of manifestation, it's actually insane, and I feel like a lot of the time when people get really caught up in it and they start to really stress and they're like, please tell me how to manifest, it's because there is so many people telling you that there's right ways, wrong ways, different ways to manifest, and then you just get so overwhelmed that you're like, who do I trust? Don't let all these different methods confuse or overwhelm you. The methods that I use are scripting, visualization, speaking your intentions out loud, which is just affirmations or like praying, vision boards, and meditation. I know that there's methods online that are called like the 555 methods, the 365 method, and people are like advertising it to be like the fastest method to manifesting, and honestly, I just wouldn't even go over there. I think it makes it way too confusing and there's so many rules with it when like it doesn't need to be that complicated. You honestly probably do some of these methods without even realizing some things that you should keep in mind. I would call these the do's and don'ts of manifesting. One is that before you begin anything, you should be grateful for what you already have. Be aware that what you are manifesting is not out of desperation and it's not because you need this to happen and that your life is not where it needs to be. You need to be content with where you are right now and know that all these things that you want are going to happen. It just takes time. And this means having an abundance mindset. If you don't know what that means, it refers to the idea that there is plenty in the universe for every single person. There is an abundance of money out there for you. There's abundance of opportunities. There's abundance of friends and people that are good for you and meant for you. Now, the next thing is that once you start manifesting, you can't just expect these things to come true, because even though it feels like magic, it's not actually magic and it's not just gonna happen with the snap of a finger. You do need to realize that some of these things are going to take time and that there's a time and place for everything. Don't force it, don't rush it, don't be sad and desperate when it's not happening. In order for these things to come true, you also need to be able to put in the work. For example, if I want to manifest 1 million subscribers in the next year, I can't just sit back and be like, I'm gonna let the universe take care of it. Like, it's just not gonna happen. I need to make sure that I'm posting weekly, posting on my Instagram, posting on my TikTok, creating the best quality content that I can. Maybe that involves buying new filming equipment so that I have better quality, etc. Another question that I feel like I constantly get asked is, how often do you manifest? When should you manifest? Like I said, there are no rules to it. There's no time that you need to do it at. There's not an amount of days that you need to do it to work. Honestly, I feel like sometimes I'll go through phases where I do it like all the time and then I forget about it for like a month and then I do it again and then I go off. But honestly, I do feel better when I'm doing it more consistently consistently because my mind is constantly just happy and grateful and like thinking about good things that could happen in the future. If you're into the moon cycles, sometimes there is specific days that are supposedly better for manifesting. So just search up when the full moon schedule is. Is it good to manifest on that full moon? I just think it's more likely to happen if you're acting or thinking with intention in your everyday life. And the last thing that I have on here is to practice detachment, which means to practice not being super attached to the idea of this thing happening. For example, I really want 1 million subscribers, but if that's all I'm thinking about, then I'm probably gonna start feeling bad about myself if I don't get it. Detachment from anything that implies that you don't already have this desire. Number 1 is with vision boards. If you watched my How to Make 2022 Your Best Year Yet, I explained exactly why vision boards were important. I showed you guys how to make it. I showed you guys me making it and setting it as my background. I also talked about the previous vision boards that I had made in the past. But overall, making a vision board is so great, and this is just something that you should do regardless if you are into manifesting or not. They're truly just taking your thoughts and dreams into something that is tangible and real. Imagining a positive future also just makes you have a more optimistic and positive mindset. Every time you look at it, you're gonna feel inspired. Something to remember when making these vision boards is to be super specific. Another tool that you can use is visualization. In 2020, I competed at NCA, which is a cheer competition in the United States. It's a really big deal. It's in Dallas, Texas. Now, something that my coaches did 6 months before this competition started was they gave us a picture of the arena that we were going to be competing at, and it was huge. It was like nothing we've ever competed in before, and they specifically wanted to give us this so that we get adjusted to what it's going to be like. And what we would do is stare at this photo, really visualize us there. We'd close our eyes, envision what it felt like when you're standing behind the curtains, when you hear the crowd cheering, when you're walking on the stage, feeling nervous, taking 3 deep breaths, closing my eyes. They play the music and then we'd actually play it. And then we'd go through the routine in our head, hitting all our stunts, doing all our tumbling perfect. When we actually ended up competing at NCA, I felt like I had already done it. When I walked in there, it looked exactly like the picture. I did my 3 breaths just how I envisioned them. And we ended up hitting the best routine that we've ever done before. And I really think that that picture was what helped me, and it kind of manifested into reality. Another example that I have with this that I explained in my past video was before I got my driver's license, I was so terrified of taking it because I had already failed in the past. And so I did every single manifestation technique to pass this test, and I did. So I'm gonna say that it worked. I searched up a manifestation visualization meditation. That is so hard to say. Somebody is talking to you and they're saying, envision your goal, envision what it feels like walking into the place, envision what it smells like, what you're thinking, what you're wearing. I was thinking about how it felt when I'd walk in, and I wrote out all my papers. I would get in the car, I would look at my instructor. I visualized that so many times that when the test actually came, I did everything the way that I had envisioned it. It turned out perfectly. I passed my test with like no mistakes. And even in my visualizations, this is so embarrassing, but I was like, oh my God, if I pass, I'm gonna like turn to the instructor and I'm gonna say, woohoo! Guys, I did that. I literally did that. We were in my test and he's like, you passed. And I was like, yeah, now that everything happened the way I wanted it to, I can't like stop here. So I looked at him and I was like, woohoo! He didn't say anything. Your mind can take you to this place and it can feel so real, and then when it's happening in real life, you feel like you've already done it before. If you've tried this and it's a little bit hard for you, just know that the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. I love using the method of scripting. For this, you're gonna need a journal, and you can use any journal. I currently have 2. This was my like previous manifestation journal, but I decided that I was gonna make a new manifestation one for 2022. You can see that I have pages on pages of writing, and they are all manifestations. You don't need a whole specific journal for manifesting, but I feel like it's a good idea because you can have the intentions that everything you write in this book is going to come true, and you can do the same thing with a pen, that everything you write in this certain pen is going to come true. So I wrote the dates down because I like looking back and seeing how many things have changed, and then I would just write out like basically a paragraph. It's like a little story that you're writing, but you write what your ultimate goal is as if it's in first person, so as if you already have this goal. June 2nd, 2020, I wrote, I'm so proud of myself. I just got my first fan account and I feel so loved and supported. And this was way before I had any success on YouTube. I wrote, I am so grateful for all that YouTube has brought me. I have thousands of supporters. I just hit 25K, 1/4 of 100. I wrote that I have so many opportunities. I talked about how successful I was, how I was gonna hit 100K. I wrote that I was making a lot of income, that I didn't care what people thought of me, and that I was super independent. And I would also write little things of like gratitude, and I would say like, I'm so grateful for this life. Everything is meant for me. I even wrote here, I can take my family to Mexico, which I actually just did in November. I didn't even know that I wrote that down. I wrote about how my jewelry collection was gonna do so well. I even wrote things about influencers that I had always wanted to meet, and I actually ended up meeting them. This is the page where I wrote about passing my end test. I did affirmations, which if you don't know what this is, affirmations or speaking your intentions out loud, where you say things like, I am beautiful, I am smart, I am strong, I am fearless, I am powerful, and saying these things to yourself is just reaffirming it into your head. I wrote a bunch of different affirmations like, I will pass my end test, I will get my license tomorrow, I've taken the test, I've had enough practice, I stick to technique, I am lucky and deserving. And then I wrote kind of like the full manifestation scripting story about how the minute I walked in, how it would feel like. You can also manifest by praying. Praying could be to whatever your God is or a higher power above you, removing your negative thoughts and visualizing your blessings and just speaking into existence what you want to happen. I just feel like all of it has happened, which I'm so grateful for. And sometimes it's kind of a touchy subject because I know for some of these things, I have obviously a lot of privilege. I live in like a first world country where I am fortunate to be able to have all the resources that I need accessible to me and my family that has helped support me. It's not just manifesting and everything's gonna come true. I know that I'm very lucky, but I do think that all of this wouldn't have happened without hard work. And it's not just hard work, but it's about your mindset, your motivation, and your drive. So I just feel like writing it all down just makes you stay in that mindset. The last manifestation method that I use, it could be through music. I would search up on Spotify manifestation like music and stuff, and there was this song. It's called Releasing Resistance, The Law of Attraction by Jess Shepherd. I'm gonna put it out loud so you guys can hear it.
I am worthy of love, abundance, happiness, and joy. I am worthy of my desires and I expect them to happen. I am unlimited.
You can listen to stuff like that, and those are literally affirmations and you're just hearing them out loud. Another thing that I really like to use is frequency music. It's actually super relaxing and I listen to it like 50% of the time. Sounds like this. There's like no words to it a lot of the time, and it's just kind of like this sound. Sound healing is the use of sacred instruments or voice to release energetic blockages. A lot of the sound therapy produces vibrations that alter your brain waves, and basically these vibrations like travel through your body and they promote energy flow, rejuvenation, circulation, and overall they just like lower your stress levels, improve your sleep. I really like to listen to these while I'm manifesting, and you can search up frequency vibrations for manifesting, and there's different types of hertz. I think it's like how it gets stronger. I feel my best whenever I'm listening to it falling asleep. Like I feel like I fall asleep so quickly. Now I have a bunch of crystals. I just have them in this little like glass plate, and they're basically all lying on top of this selenite plate, and selenite charges your crystals. And I'm not gonna act like I'm a pro at crystals. I actually don't really work with crystals that much. Every crystal that I've gotten, I actually journal about them, and basically I write all their names out. I talk about like what color they are and what they can be used for. So I actually have a number of crystals that are supposedly good for manifesting. Sometimes when I'm manifesting, I like to cleanse those certain crystals and like put them out with me. Citrine and hematite is really good for manifesting. If you're interested in buying crystals or getting into that, when you're going to the store, read those little papers that they hand out and see what they're used for. So hopefully you can get one that has to do with manifesting or that is especially good for meditating or getting yourself in a clear headspace, then they'll actually be more helpful to you rather than just picking the one that looks the prettiest. Some of the things that I feel like I have personally manifested are, of course, with being a YouTuber and being an influencer and having success in that field, my subscriber count. I would visualize what it would look like having my 100K plaque, how my cheer competitions would go, passing my driver's test, making a certain amount of money, or having different income streams, opportunities, making certain friends in my life, or how certain events would go. If you want to watch my how I manifested my New York Fashion Week video, I 100% think that trip, me and my friends had the best vibes. We were on such high vibrations the entire time, and crazy things just kept happening to us. That was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope that you guys found it interesting and didn't mind that it was kind of a sit down video. Please comment down below if I'm missing anything or if there's anything that you want to add to this. We can have a conversation going. I will heart your comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like if you want to see more spiritual things or manifestation, law of attraction type of videos. I love you guys. Go and manifest something great.